Alright, let's settle this once and for all. App router versus page router in Next.js. People have been fighting about this online for 2 years. And honestly, the debate is basically done. But the migration, that's where software engineers are destroying their own projects. So let me break this down the right way. The pages router has been around since Next.js version 9. If you have built anything with Next.js before 2023, you already know what I'm saying. The structure is clean. You create a file inside a pages folder, and that file becomes a route. Simple, predictable, done. Here's what I want you to understand though. Simple is not a bad word in engineering. The pages router is battle tested. It runs millions of websites right now as you're speaking. If your current project is working, making money, and your team is comfortable with it, do not touch it just to feel modern. That's ego engineering, not real engineering. The app router introduced in Next.js version 13 and matured in versions 14 and 15 is a completely different mental model. And I mean that literally. You have to rewire how you think about pages and components. What you get in return is extremely powerful, nested layout that actually persists between navigations without re-rendering. Server components, which means your components runs on the server by default. No JavaScript shipped to the browser unless you say so. Built-in streaming, so your page can show parts of itself while other parts are still loading. And loading states that are first-class citizens, not something you bolt on with a use effect hack. Think about it this way. Imagine you're building a dashboard with a pages router. The whole page would wait for all your data before showing anything. While with the app router, your sidebar loads instantly, your header loads instantly, and only the heavy data table is streaming in. The user feels the speed difference immediately. Here's what nobody tells you when they hype up the app router. The mental model is genuinely harder. Every time junior developers make the mistake of mixing up server components and client components. Server components cannot use state. They cannot use effect. They cannot listen to browser events. If you try, Next.js will throw errors that look confusing if you don't understand why. And client components, the one with the use client at the top, cannot be imported inside server components without specific patterns. But here's my take. Hard does not mean wrong. Flying a plane is harder than riding a bike. That does not mean you ride your bike across the ocean. Learn the model correctly once and the app router becomes one of the most powerful front-end tools available today. So here is the actual answer coming from someone who has shipped both in production. Starting a brand new project, use the app router, full stop. You're building with the future of Next.js and the full support of the Facile team behind it. Got a legacy pages router project that's already working? Don't do a big bang rewrite. This is how you introduce regressions, breaking existing features, and burn your team out over a weekend.